Today we will be talking about circles. The first thing you need to do is think about the vocabulary and learn the correct terminology to use when you are discussing circles and working with them. The first term is the radius. The radius of a circle is a line from its center to any point on the circle. So as you can see, the radius goes from the center to the edge of the circle. Sometimes we have a line that goes from one point on a circle to another point on a circle, and that is called a chord. So the chord does not necessarily go through the center. We don't use that term often, but it's important for you to be familiar with it. The last word we use is diameter. So the diameter, again, just like the radius, goes through the center, straight through the center, but it goes all the way across. So remember, since it goes all the way across, the radius only goes halfway across. So remember that the length of a diameter is twice the length of the radius. So again, the diameter is twice the length of the radius. So D equals 2 times R. Now that we know the vocabulary, we can talk about how to use those lengths to find the circumference and area of circles. When we talk about the circumference of a circle, what we are talking about is its perimeter, or the distance around the circle. To find circumference, we multiply pi times diameter. Sometimes you'll hear people say that circumference equals 2 times radius times pi, or 2 pi times radius. Those are the same thing because remember the diameter is just 2 times the radius. We'll do an example of this in just a minute. The other important formula for today is the area formula. Area is written r squared pi, or pi r squared. We multiply radius times radius and then times pi. So once again, those important formulas that you need to know. C equals diameter times pi. Diameter can also be found by multiplying the radius times 2. The area is radius squared times pi. Remember, squared means times itself. These are the really important formulas that you need to remember. Now, let's do an example. If I have a circle and that length is 6 meters, the first thing you must ask yourself is, did I give you the radius or did I give you the diameter? We will be needing both since we'll be finding both the circumference and the area. 6 meters is the radius of this circle. I suggest that you always put R equals and D equals for every problem. So if the radius is 6, remember we would multiply that times 2 to find our diameter, which is 12 meters. Now we can find our circumference and area. To find circumference, we multiply diameter times pi. So 12 pi meters would be our circumference. That is what we call our exact circumference. Because remember, pi is an approximation. When we multiply by 3.14, we're now finding the approximate circumference. So we will multiply by 3.14 to find our approximate circumference. The wiggly equal sign means approximate, and when I multiply those, I get 37 and 68 meters. Again, because we estimated pi to be 3.14, mathematicians would say that is the approximate circumference. That is the exact, and this is the approximate. Now, to find our area, remember we will use r squared pi. So plugging in to our formula, r squared, r is 6 squared times pi, giving us an exact area of 6 times 6 is 36 pi. Remember, when we find area, we must have units squared, so this would be meters squared. Just like circumference, this is called the exact area because we're leaving it in terms of pi. Sometimes you'll also hear that phrase. Now, if we wanted to find our approximate, we multiply 36 times 3.14. When you do that, you find the area would be approximately 113 400 meters squared. So that is our approximate area. So remember, I'm okay with you leaving it exact or in terms of pi, but if you need to use this calculation, use this value to find something else, you might need to approximate it.